talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate and learn to cooperate.
TGIF Dog Talk. What is going on, family? You know we do this every Friday at 8 p.m. Oh, son, I'm getting an echo. Sorry about that. Let me do this, man. My bad. I have a guest here with us tonight. I'll be bringing him in here shortly. Tonight, we're going to be talking about this right here. Genetic testing, right? Results. And if it's actually going to be a game changer or not. Basically, I see it as an equalizer. And what I mean by that is if you're new to buying dogs, you're new to a breed, if you're able to get puppies that are genetically tested, it will give you an equalizer, at least in the dog health sense of the word. Before I continue, let me bring my guy, Gerald, from All World, the Doberman dog father. What's going on, man? No, hold on, man. Hold on. I did it wrong. There you go.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, we just did a live more recently earlier this week. We kind of spoke a little bit on genetics. I was actually going over more markers and things like that in your podcast. Tonight, we may go into some markers, but I kind of want to hit on some things in particular because I kind of feel that finally, right? I've been doing this now for 6 years, but finally I am seeing a trend towards health testing in my neck of the woods, right? I'm talking about the American bullies. How about your neck of the woods, Gerald? Are you seeing more and more health testing? I know you deal more with a working line breed.
That's a standard request, and that's a standard protocol now with these dogs because of the genetic markers that are so prevalent in the Doberman community. That's the number one thing right now. And so, yeah, it's
right. So basically, if you want to be a successful Dobie breeder, not only do you have to win, I don't know, whatever titles on some sort of, do you guys do Schutzhund over there or no?
They don't call it Shih Tzu no more. They named it they changed the name twice. It's called IGP.
IGP.
After Shih Tzu, it was called IPO. Then they changed it from IPO to IGP now.
Hey, real quick, let me say what's up. We got Miss Sulema Santiago. We got Eli San.
Let's go.
Like always, tuning in from Arizona. Perfect Storm Bullies. Happy Friday, all my QBM Bully fans. V Ferreira, he already letting him know, man. Hit that like button. Start it off strong. We got Teray Thompson. What's good, Bully fam? Nothing much, fam. You already know. Doing my thing. Dracula Kennels. Hello, everyone. We got Freedy Strivia. What's up, Bully fam? Hope all is well with everyone. And D. Taylor, what's up, everyone? D. Taylor, number love. Listen, my question to you guys watching, I'm going to ask Gerald here in a second. But I want you to start dropping some comments on this. Do you feel that we're at a point in time that if you're not genetically testing, I'm talking about the breeder that is, if the breeder that you're looking at is not genetically testing, do you feel that we've come to the point in time where they can be viewed more as a backyard breeder? And I only say that because the expense to get a one puppy genetically tested is between $100 and $150. So if you're getting a puppy anywhere between $3,000 and $10,000, all right, what's $100 to $150? It's a drop in the bucket, right? So Gerald, we were having this conversation before we came on live. What's a backyard breeder for you?
You know, organically 20, 30 years ago, to me, a backyard breeder means that they was taking care of the animals, they was breeding them, they was whelping them, there was bottle feeding if they have to, getting all the necessary vet care. But now that term has changed to a negative overtone where Basically, that means that you got a person breeding two dogs together, no matter what the DNA makeup is, no matter what the possible genetic issues each dog may or may not have, and put them together for the love of the money. Like the money is like you're not doing any. It's almost like, yo, you're going to spend $3,000-$4,000 on a dog that you're going to try to breed, but you want to do shortcuts. You don't want to pay the $130 to $140, which is already prepaid postage from Embark. It's already prepaid postage. So it doesn't make sense. So those type of people are really giving the gigabyte gangsters the green light to just stamp everybody as a back. If you're breeding, you're a backyard breeder. No, there's a difference. There's a difference. Huge difference. You should say responsible backyard breeder, because I want a breeder who is breeding. It's almost like this, Raul. And you live in Houston, I live in LA, so you got way more better spots in Houston than we do here. The soul food spots, right? It's always a shithole location, a shithole building, but the line is around the corner to eat, right?
Yes.
Great breeders and good breeders only breed so often. And when they do, they already have a waiting list waiting, because they know that whenever you buy a pup from them, the pup is going to be vetted. Not just guaranteed, but they do all the proper checks and balances and checking all the box, and they have the reputation of producing quality dogs, not quantity. Quality.
This is, I mean, you hit on so many things. I actually was going to show an article. In fact, I still will, because you actually hit on a couple of things that's already on that article. But I will say that one of the major disadvantages that my breed, the American Bully, and in particular the American Bully XL class, has, is the fact that we are not a working line. So because we don't have a working line, I cannot refer to IPG, which was formerly known as Schutzhund at some point. My dog qualified, I don't know, third in the state in IPG, whatever the case may be. You can't refer to any of that. So the only thing that the culture has referred to has been, more than anything, the popularity contest. Who's doing better social media, right? I can tell you, when I first came along, a bunch of people taking pictures of these massive looking things, jowls drooping down. I mean, it was just a mess and a disaster. What it was at the time was really the blind leading the blind. Okay. What would happen is somebody would buy a dog, from a breeder, and about a year into it, and they're still doing it, they try and act like they know what the hell they're doing. Right? I don't know in the Adobe world, but I can tell you, in my world, if you're breeding for 6 years or less, I've been breeding for 10 years and I'm still learning. Yeah. So can you imagine if you just bought a stud and now he's finally a year and a half and you're able to stud him or whatever? You really don't know much, man.
Right.
You could sit here and say, I read so many books and this and that, but it comes down to experience sooner or later. Are you able to identify? Are you able to connect the dots? Let me tell you a quick story. I'm a nurse. And when I started nursing school, I had somebody sitting to my right that was a certified masseuse. Now, I don't know if you know anything about what they do, but they must know anatomy very well and very effectively. And the person sitting to my left was a chiropractor that wanted to become a nurse. Don't ask me why. Literally 3 months into the program, they both failed. Why? Why would two people that have a head start in the medical field fail? Well, the reason they failed is because they thought that coming into the nursing world, it would just be an easier step. It would be something simpler because there's so much, they're so further ahead. Right. That's exactly it. And in breeding, you get a lot of that. You get a new guy that buys the dog, and he's looking at Raul at QBN, and he's listening to what he's saying. And in a year and a half from now, the new people come through the door are not going to remember what Raul said a year and a half ago. But if I talk like him and emulate him, people are going to see me like I know what I'm doing too, and I can use it as a marketing backbone. That's why it was important, a lot of the things that you mentioned, because I want to show you guys an article, just nothing major, just an article.
I want to say something right quick. So,
yeah, go ahead.
So in the working dog field, and you can expound on this, like every dog I get, whether I import the dog or that's a dog that I help create, right? If I'm going to do IGP, if I'm going to do PSA, if I'm going to do Mondial, if I'm going to do ring sport, that starts at a very early age. And guess how much that costs a month? Thousands of dollars for almost 2 years. So why not take the proper testing first before you realize, like, damn, if this dog win this whole thing, I can't test him because guess what? He's got these DCM copies all in his bloodline. He's a VWD affected. His hips are blown out. I've just wasted all this money because now the purpose of getting these titles, to be truthful, in my world, the purpose of getting these titles is to show the dog's temperament, but also to show that not only is he proven on the field, because you can be a big, beautiful dog and scare your own shadow, but can he prove himself off the field? And by doing that is, what is he producing? Is
under the hood, right?
Yes, beneath the surface. Yes.
You need to know. And I'm glad you're hitting on this. This is a guy that's coming from a world where it's a working line breed, and he needs to know what's under the hood. He mentioned DCM, dilated cardiomyopathy, right? He also mentioned, what was the other one? WV.
Von Willebrand, VWD.
Von Willebrand's, right, which is the clotting we were talking about, it, where the dog has difficulty clotting type of deal. Let me ask you this, Gerald, because I've had many people come on here, of course, breeders that are resistant to wanting to show what's under the hood. My question to you, Gerald, how long have you been breeding?
16 years.
16 years. Let me ask you this. When a puppy's born without a genetic test, are you able to know if that puppy is a carrier of DCM, if that puppy is a carrier of what is it, WV?
VWD.
Yeah, VWD, von Willebrand's disease, or anything else for that matter?
You don't know unless you check out the parents. Then you can get an idea. Case in point, a lot of breeders in Eastern Europe, they go by percentage. Oh, it's a percentage ratio. Well, no, I don't want to do percentage. I want to see if both parents, and we do know that DCM is a mutated gene. It can pop up 5 years later.
Correct.
Right? But at least try it. Roughhouse, what's going on? At least you're showing that you're doing the bare necessities, because over here in America, we care about that. Because Americans, let's keep it real, most of us are visual. We like the look. We like we like the paint job, but we don't want to pop the hood.
That's right.
We don't want to pop the hood. And so in our world, I'm not touching a puppy if the parents ain't health tested. I don't give a fuck what the pedigree is. Because if he's got all these markers going in, then that limits my gene pool as a stud service provider, big time, right? So that's me.
No, I like the insight that you're giving. Again, over on your end, these boxes need to be checked before, right? Early. Unfortunately, in my breed, like I told you, because we're a companion breed. Now, I will say all breeds are made for a reason. I would say 150 years ago, the breeds that were being made exclusively for a particular job at the time. We didn't have social media where you could have a backyard breeder selling dogs for $8,000. Dude just got into the breeding world 3 years ago. You see what I'm saying? You couldn't do that back then.
Right.
So my point is, even my breed, which is a companion breed, I've had some people, oh, your dogs do nothing. No, they definitely do something. I'm a 100% disabled veteran, and there's many 100% disabled veterans out there that I can refer to. And this breed serves a purpose that, like I mentioned to you earlier, maybe a working line breed like Dobies, not saying they can't, but just saying they have other needs. Okay, you can't, for example, I would think, sit on the couch with a Dobie all day. They need to go out and run, for example. Yeah. Not saying you're going to do the same with an American Bully, but the American Bully is more propense to want to sit there and chill out with you and whatever, because that's the temperament that was instilled in the breed, right? Let me see here real quick. We got Ira Lawman. How much low treatment antifungal? How much do I use in my 1.5-year-old female police ears? Ira, you're going to have to watch that video, my friend. You're asking an off-topic question, bro, and unfortunately, you're not a member. Nadie says, what's cooking, fam? Greeting from the island of Staten. All right. Yeah, he's saying he's backing it up, man. Look under the hood. We didn't even have genetic testing back then, not as sophisticated as it is now. Adam Fields, what's up, big dog? He says, spend the $140 to test each pup. Well, actually, if you have, I think, over 8 pups, it becomes a little bit less than that. You increase the price of the pups by $250, $500 because they're genetically and health tested. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So when a breeder is not genetically testing and is resistant, okay, so parents are not genetically tested, and he's resistant to genetically test the pups. Guys, there's a reason for it, man.
Don't want my money.
Yeah,
you don't want my money.
Don't be naive enough to think, oh, like I've had people come on here say, you know when your dog has something. No, you don't. In fact, some things don't show up until further on down the line. You know what I'm saying? And like my guy over here is saying, some genes like DCM are genes that can mutate, meaning they could skip a generation or two and pop up again. So if you're not testing every puppy in the litter, how do we know that puppy is not going to have dilated cardiomyopathy? You see where I'm coming from. Now, I wanted to share that one article with you guys real quick. And the article's titled 12 Red Flags You Should Watch Out For in a Dog Breeder. And when, I usually don't like going into articles like these because you guys already know there is a vendetta against breeders throughout. Okay. And you have that adopt, don't shop slogan out there and the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to get into the type of business they do, but I typically am very skeptical in these types of articles. However, let's go over them just real quick. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to go over each. Check it out. Number 1, red flag on a breeder. They don't know much about the breed. Good breeders are a resource base of wealth of knowledge about their breed. Munden says potential parents should be able to ask them thousands of questions, literally, if they have that many, about everything from their energy level to common health conditions to how good they are with kids and other dogs. I'm not going to go further than that. Number 1, they don't know much about the breed. Would you agree with that, Gerald?
Yes. That's almost like it's almost like a car salesman. They go,
yes.
They're like, oh, the Buick. Oh, what do you know about the Buick? Oh, it's a great car. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's a European car, but I thought it was made here nationally. Well, it is, but the parts come from Europe. Everything is an excuse type of deal. The next red flag is they don't quiz you. So buying a puppy should involve an interview where the breeder asks you a bunch of questions about your lifestyle goals for you and your dog, your home environment, and more, and they will turn someone down if they believe they aren't the right fit. I think this has more to do with your line, your breed, because your breed is more of a working line breed. I will say I have asked questions of people buying my dogs, and what I want to know more than anything is the person's, if they're single, if they're married, that sort of thing. It means a lot because I have had scenarios where 2 years down the line, old buddy bought a puppy today, and 2 years down the line, he decided he wants to get married, and new wifey coming on board says they can't have a puppy or she doesn't want the dog. Do you quiz your people that are buying dogs from you, Gerald?
That is a guarantee. If you know, a lot of people who get into dobies, they get into it for the regal, majestic look. They don't understand that these dogs are part greyhound. So if you notice any dobie you watch, when they're free off a leash, they run everywhere. They don't walk, they trot, they run. They'll burn your grass up. You even if you have fake grass in the back, these dogs need to exert energy. If you guys know, if some of the followers who follow me notice, I have a wooden slat mill in my backyard so these dogs can exert their energy in a controlled environment. If you're not asking questions, you surely got blinders on, and you want the money, and you want a return dog at some point, or somebody's pissed. And yeah, great breeders are going to have them fill out an application, a questionnaire, ask, just ask what is your purpose with this dog, and I'm not trying to talk too long about this, but it's always astonishing where I'm in LA, one of the biggest cities with transients living under byways and highways. If a person loved their animals, they will be homeless with their dog. They don't give their dog up like, well, no. I'm working now. No, goddamn it. You knew that this dog was going to be codependent on you from day one.
Yes.
And whoever you marry and they don't want the animal, then she ain't the woman for you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Gerald, and I mean, I don't want to go off topic, but they don't make them like they used to, bro. Nowadays, you kind of got to scratch your head because you don't know which side of the line they're on. I'm just going to throw that out there real quick, Gerald. I do got to interrupt you real quick because I need to thank Nadies. Nadies just gifted 5.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón, Nadies. We do this every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Nadine, by the way, tonight we're hitting the prize wheel and you're getting a free spin. No if it's or buts about it. All right. So I appreciate it. Number love. Thank you so much, Nadine. So they don't quiz you. I think we beat a dead horse on that one. Next one says they're willing to sell the puppy too early. How many times have I not come on here and told you guys that people have paid me $150 consult so I could help them pick a 2-week-old puppy that's going to get shipped to them at 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Gerald, how soon do you allow puppies to leave your grounds to the new home?
I would say between after their last set of shots, for damn sure. And you're looking at probably 10 weeks. Hey, but even
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. That's what we do.
Yeah, but even like it may be longer if they're getting the ears cropped by our vet. Now we got to keep them a little bit longer. That changes the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do the ear cropping, of course, and I know that dobies, their ear croppings can last what, 10 weeks, 12 weeks.
Well, we got to make sure that the stitches are out and make sure that there are no infections, and then we let the people, the prospective owners, start doing their own taping. We're not going to be keeping these dogs until these ears.
Wow, I was about to say, man, you're a hero.
Hell no.
You got a 10 pup litter and you're taping ears for 12 weeks. All right, let's see what the next one, next red flag. They won't communicate on the phone. Reputable breeders want to make sure dog parents are legit too, so they call, text, or FaceTime them, whatever it takes to get a sense of who they are and start building a relationship. I think that's the essence of this. Is there a relationship being built, or is it a complete business transaction? Are you meeting somewhere where it's dark and they're handing over a puppy and you're handing a pile of money and you're both looking in different directions to make sure nobody's looking at you while you're doing this? If that's the case, then yeah, that's definitely a red flag for a backyard breeder. Go ahead.
Listen, anytime, and I'm 54 coming up, anytime somebody want to communicate with me about a living, breathing creature like this, and you don't want to pick up the phone and call me, I said, listen, I'm not going to communicate with you selling a live, living, breathing creature via thumbs. We're going to talk. Well, okay, I'll call you back later. We never hear. I don't.
Exactly.
If we can't talk, you ain't gonna walk with this puppy. It just that's crazy, man.
It is. It is. Adam Fields is letting us know that it's illegal in most states to sell a puppy before 8 weeks, which means, and I could be wrong, guys, but you might have to check with your lawyer. But if that breeder had you sign a contract and he is pushing the puppy on you before 8 weeks, I think there's a way out of the contract. So don't quote me on that. Make sure to check with your lawyer, but I'm just letting you know. If you sent in a deposit and all of a sudden he's trying to push a puppy on you at 6 weeks and you either have an email or text, depending on what state you're in and whatnot, you might want to check with your lawyer. That might be a way for you to get out. Real quick, I got 2 questions I want to answer. V. Ferreira says, do you show a possible buyer the embark test in person only? So many people snapping pics and passing them off as their own. V. Ferreira, it is unfortunate. Scamming is part of human nature. You could go back to when the cavemen were in the caves, right? All I can tell you is, in my case, for example, we have QBN app. It's an app. You can go to your iPhone or the App Store or to the Google Play Store, type in QBN space app and download it. In there, you're going to see every single one of my dogs with their corresponding embark. That's the only way that I can assure not just a buyer, but anybody that's interested, anybody that's bought, whatever, that the communication is coming securely through me. Okay. Gerald, what do you do as far as your embarks? Do you only show it to them when they come on your property? Do you just send them the link? How do you run with it?
In this game, when you're trying to when you are an ethical breeder, for me, just for me, whatever they ask for, I send it. If they want the embark test, I email it to them. If they want to go to OFA, because my dogs are OFA certified, I give them the AKC number, their real name, because my dogs come with these crazy names from overseas, and I call them, their call name is different. So I give them the AKC number. One thing, if you're trying to stay in this breeding game, no matter what breed you're breeding, be transparent. Give them what they ask for. So at the end of the day, they can't say that you didn't show them this or you didn't tell them this. It's right there in black and white. So I give it to them.
Exactly. That's part of the reason why I not only embark every single one of my pups, it's the same reason why we set everything up in the app. You can never come back and say, oh, but the app was always there. Anybody that knows anything about QBN, you know that the app not only is there, but the embarks are there as well, right? Let's see what's the next one on this list. They have glamorous websites. Check that out. Glamorous websites. Well, look, I'm not going to point the finger at a breeder, whether they're good or bad, because of how glamorous their website is. However, I have said many times that depending on the pictures that are being taken, you know, that old saying that pictures speak 1,000 words.
1,000 pictures.
If you have a dog on a slight incline, what does that normally mean? It means the dog has a high rear. If the dog has 6 inches of grass coming up where you can't see his paws, that dog is east-west. May even have some sort of limb deformity, right? These are just basic things. So if you have a glamorous website, I wouldn't necessarily hold that against you. But the pictures that are being taken, like, here you go. Let me give you a quick example. And I mean, I've shown it here many a times, but my dogs, well, let me take the banner off because you can't see it with the banner on there. All right. You're going to see front paws. You're going to see the whole shebang bang, right? I'm not trying to hide anything. There are times I will take a picture on grass, but look, it's not 6 inches worth of grass, is there? You see what I'm saying? So it's a matter of the pictures that are being taken. Are they purposefully trying to hide something? I've told you guys plenty of times. This is my boy Congo. He's a Merle. He's East Westy. I'm saying it here on a podcast, and I've been saying it for the last 3 years. It's not the first time. It's not news to anybody. My whole point is, are they showing off the whole dog, or are they trying to show you only exclusively what they want you to see? That's what it comes down to. And, you don't even have to have street smarts. If you're not seeing front paws and you're seeing incline, or you're seeing the dog in a full sprint in the air, obviously they're trying to hide something. Why not put the dog on cement? Why not show me those front paws? I mean, they're there for a reason, right? So I'll throw that out there. I don't know, Gerald, if you want to say anything on this one in particular.
I'm on the fence with that particular topic, that particular sentence. They have glamorous, because we have become so what's it called, ADHD, attention
ADHD?
deficit, right?
Yeah.
So if the website's not looking good within the first 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to the next one.
Exactly.
No matter what the good intent is. So I don't think that is I think what they're trying to say, which it wasn't too descriptive, is that they're flooding the website with all this copious amounts of pictures, but when it comes to the intangible part, they're not being transparent.
Correct.
The health tests, that kind of stuff. So they wow you with the thousands of photos. Out of the 1,000 photos they took that they took, maybe 50 have the right angulation on it, the right symmetry, the right color tone. So they kind of bullshit. You know how they are. Come on, man. It's like
basically what you're getting is no health testing and dogs on an inclined surface. If that's not a red flag, I don't know what else is, man. Yep. Let's jump on the next one over here. They won't take a dog back. Now this one I will say I'm on the fence on. I'm gonna let you go first on this one, Gerald.
Well, the contracts that we have in place, if a buyer decides that they for whatever reason, whatever made up reason they have, they don't want the dog, and it's typically because the dog energy level doesn't match the owner of the household. But let's say they want to return the dog, we get first rights to get the dog back. That doesn't mean that a refund.
Right.
Okay. It merely means that you can bring the dog back, bring all the vet information you've had since then, and we'll displace the dog. A lot of times we resell the dog again, but we let them know that it was rehomed. So yeah, I would do that. But again, it depends on your setup, how many dogs you already have. But we want to get first rights to get the dog back with no refund. We ain't returning this thing.
I can tell you in our contract, we have the right of first refusal. So if you have to give up the dog, we have the right to accept the dog back first before you could sell it or move it on to anyone else. I have had to pass on dogs in the past as far as coming back, not because I didn't have room, not because I didn't have the best intention in keeping the dog, but because the habits that were instilled in the dog was not something I wanted to bring into my kennel again. So I'll give you a case in point. I had somebody that I sold the dog to, and his wife was beating the dog. Now, the reason he got rid of the dog is because he caught her beating the dog, okay, when he wasn't home. Okay, the dog at this point in time was about 9 months old. Okay, this is a living, breathing being. A dog is a being. So a dog could be born with the best temperament possible. If every Friday you dress in a full red suit and you beat him with a stick, okay, maybe not the first Friday, maybe not the second, but by the time the third or fourth Friday rolls around, that dog is going to instinctively not like the color red and probably be scared whenever somebody picks up a stick. Now, I'm not a trainer. Gerald, you're more of a trainer than I am. But I am just saying, when this dog was brought to me back, the dog was not just skittish, he was almost trembling and wanting to go to a corner. If you know anything about dogs, okay, at least in my breed, I can speak that dogs will bite you for one or two reasons. They have either been bred bad, meaning they have a temperament issue because they weren't inbred, or because they're timid or scared or in pain.
Fear
okay,
biting.
these are the main reasons why they're going to bite you. So I cannot bring a dog that is timid into my yard like that. Okay, especially at that point. I didn't know if the dog was timid or was about to snap any minute. But I will say that a legitimate ethical breeder will always have his doors open to any dog that he produces and he sells to the public. Okay, but you have that right to you have the first right to get the dog back, but you also have the right to say, I'm sorry, I can't bring the dog back in. Okay. Like Gerald said, in the cases that I have received dogs in the past, I have rehomed them and I do it for free. I don't know in Gerald's breed, but in our breed, a 9-month-old dog, even if he is well behaved, people scratch their head twice and they're thinking that you're trying to sell them something. Something's got to be wrong with that dog that you're selling this 9-month-old dog, right? In our case, we'll just pet home. I say give away for free, but I don't like giving anything away for free. Probably sell them for $1,000, $1,500. That's about it. Make sure that it's going to a good home, preferably if it's an older person, as long as I see that the dog is able to pass all of my temperament tests. Anything you want to add to that, Gerald?
I think you made a good point. I think the key word here is when these dogs are in other homes for the first 7, 8, 9 months of their life, well, 6 or 7 months of their life, the key word is bad imprinting.
Yes.
You know, and if you are going to have bad imprinting, that's going to make whoever buys the dog or rehome the dog training that much harder, because now the trainer has to correct the wrong that was put into this dog. And so it is very interesting when people spend the thousands and thousands of dollars and then they want to give the dog back. And it's always something where they're not being completely honest with us breeders. You can always have that spidey sense be tingling, like, wait a minute, if you love this animal, no matter where you are or whatever the situation is, you won't get rid of them unless this dog bit somebody out of fear or whatever. And then but then will they tell you that? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. We as a society, we have learned the art of hoodwink ever since we're in kindergarten, it seems. Everybody's trying to hoodwink everybody else, man. Let me go ahead and jump here to the other one. And it says they have a ton of puppies available at once. Here's again, yeah, this one's not fair. I'll give you an example of me. I got 4 bitches that just went in heat. I got 3 of them that I bred. I haven't bred in the last 2.5 years. So are you gonna ding me because they came in heat at the same time? No. What I will say, and I could be wrong, and Gerald, you tell me what you think about this. When I see a breeder that he's breeding 3, 4, 5 different breeds, for me is an automatic red flag.
Oh, yeah.
For me is this. Listen, I've been breeding American Bullies for 10 years, and I will not say that I have mastered the breed. So how can you sit there and breed 3, 4, 5 different breeds and act as if though you have mastered anything? You haven't mastered anything, bro. That's just my take. So my red flag is when they have 3 or 4 different breeds. Usually one of the breeds that they have is one of those most sellable breeds, like French Bulldogs, unfortunately, because they're able to fit in apartments, HOAs, everywhere. Their market is just substantially big. So could you imagine you're seeing an American bully breeder that also breeds French bulldogs, but I also breed cane corsos, but I also breed
Frenchies.
Rottweilers.
No Frenchies in there.
You know what I'm saying?
Throw Frenchies in there. Come on, you got to throw Frenchies in there.
I did. They were the second one I spoke about.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, how can you master a breed? Really, as a breeder, isn't that what you're trying to do? You're trying to.
That's a touchy one because you said it, but you didn't say it right then. Usually, one female will trigger the other bitches to come in heat, right?
Yes.
So that's why it's easy to have 4 bitches to come in heat, 1 week after each other. So you don't want to miss out on that, especially if you're not breeding them once a year or once every 2 years. But that's ambiguous right there. If a ton of puppies, it's too ambiguous, too vague. I would say a ton of puppies. Maybe the prices are too high. Maybe his marketing skills are not good. So it's
true.
It's too vague. It's too vague. But I see what they're trying to go with this.
Yeah, I agree. I've spoken here in the past about that. I'm glad you hit up on it. And that's exactly what happened in my yard. We all know that in the wolf world, the only 2 that breed is that alpha male and the alpha female. Do not think that the alpha male is going to sit there and breed with every single beta female. That's not how it works.
Right.
He breeds with the alpha female. The betas go into a false pregnancy, right? Mm-hmm. But what happens is that alpha female, she urinates, lets out the hormones, and then it starts triggering the other females, right? Mm-hmm. This is how nature assures survival of that species, because now that alpha female, along with 4 beta females who have a false pregnancy, those 4 beta females become surrogate mothers to those pups. If anything happens to that alpha female, there's 4 other females that are able to provide milk and take care of them, and so on and so forth. Let's see what's the next one on here. They use the AKC logo with 0 backup. You would know more about this, as the AKC does not recognize the American Bully as a breed. I don't know how this would affect you. In I don't know. Your breed is recognized. How does that affect you?
Yeah, so I don't know too many people in the Doberman world are advertising the AKC logo on their website. I will say that if your dogs, the sire and the mother, are AKC registered, full registration, then you can advertise on akcmarketplace.com. There where people can actually go see, because AKC will only let you advertise on their site once you register the litter, right? You just can't just go on their site and pay $50 and say, I want to put my litter on your, no. You have to register the litter, pay that fee, because AKC is all about money now. Let's not bullshit each other. They charge for everything, right? And so they want to put that on there. Then you can advertise on the AKC website. But I think there's something out there where they don't allow you, because I'm an AKC CGC evaluator, and there's restrictions on how I can advertise their logo. So it's like a community, got to police itself. Somebody's putting logos on their website. Let's play with it. It'll be taken down when AKC sends a cease and desist letter.
Okay, good point. Look at this next one, and I couldn't agree with this one anymore. They don't do health testing. Why would you think that a breeder would resist health testing if it's completely viable at this point? Easy. At $100 to $150. Why would a breeder resist this?
Easy. They're scared of the possible inevitable. They don't want to, and my man Jose from Heroes Kennels said it best. They have kennel blindness. They don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth. There's no perfect dog. Kennel blindness. They got kennel blindness. Listen. There's no perfect dog ever.
Correct.
There's going to be something about a dog that that box didn't check, but I got the other 10 that did.
Right.
It's not. So they don't want to know.
That's what breeding is about, ain't it?
Yes.
I mean, I don't care what dog you got. You got an amazing female. She checks 8 out of the 10 boxes. That other dog checks 7 out of the 10 boxes, but he happens to hit on the 2 that she's not hitting on, and that's why you're setting up the breeding. Otherwise, it would be a cookie cutter situation, and breeding would just be too simple. I
like that gunshot fire though.
Yeah, that was pretty. How about this one?
Woo! Blow it up, man. You becoming a Howard Stern, man.
I know, man. I seen the surprise in your face, man. Yeah.
Damn.
So let's see what else we got on there. We got they asked to use a payment app. I got something to say about this.
Oh my God. I got PayPal. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Listen, man, you're way ahead of me because that's exactly where I was gonna hit. If you download QBN app and you're gonna make any payment to me, all the way at the bottom, there's a PayPal button. My account is valid. You can send me money, whatever. Whenever people are scamming other people, one of the things about PayPal is you could actually freeze the account. I don't know if you guys recall a couple of years ago. I'm not going to name any names, but I headed up to Canada and I picked up a pup. She cost me $7,500. Turns out that particular breeder never sent me the paperwork on her like he said he would. Guess what old Raul over here did? I went ahead and froze his account. It was frozen for 12 weeks.
A dispute.
For 3 months, he couldn't touch his money. I wish you would see when I was texting him to get the paperwork, how I was getting no response and I was getting ghosted. So all of a sudden, when his account was frozen, how the word buddy was being used after every other word, right? So that's the best I can tell you. What you got on this, Gerald?
Okay, so Raul, you're gonna learn something today on this one.
All right.
Okay, so PayPal was started by who? Elon Musk.
Okay.
Elon Musk made millions when he sold it to who? eBay. eBay is a Mormon-owned company, okay, out of Utah. You need to start doing this right now. PayPal do not give seller protection when you're selling livestock. So this happened to my boy Perry. Shout out to my boy Perry out there up in the Bay area. So Perry got $3,500. Perry got $3,500 for a puppy he sold. 2 months later, the buyer, after having the puppy, filed a PayPal dispute. That's right. So now that particular funds get frozen under the Sellers Protection Act. You need to research this. All you people, it's okay to take PayPal for deposits, but do not ever, ever, ever take PayPal as the total form of payment, because all the buyer has to do is file a PayPal dispute, and guess what? There's no seller's protection. Now you got seller's protection when you're selling like vitamins or clothing or anything that's not livestock. But when it comes to selling animals, PayPal don't play that shit. So be leery. And so Zelle, you're covered. Cash App, you're covered. Venmo, you're good. There's no recourse in regards to disputes, right? In regards to like getting immediate gratification of refunds. So PayPal people, be leery. Read the information on their rules in regards to seller protection and buyer's protection, because they don't promote and back up selling of livestock. So be careful with that, Raul.
My guy Joe Church from NWA Cane Corso said, PayPal, you take friends and family only, non-refundable. There's some truth to that. There is some truth to that. I will say, but you also have to take in consideration what Gerald just said.
You goddamn right.
That if livestock is something that you shouldn't be selling, or that PayPal doesn't back up the selling of, Then you have another variable, another person in the kitchen cooking that pie with you. And guess what? Their rules are gonna apply whether you like it or not. That's right. That's right. Let's go to the next one here, man. They require various travel fees. Wow. Well, look, in my case, I can tell you, if you live in New York, there's no way I'm driving to New York to take you the dog. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I've gone all the way up to Philadelphia, and it was a one-time thing. So when I sell dogs, transportation costs are completely separate from what I am selling, and that is something that you need to deal directly with a transportation company. I can assist you in finding a transporter. I don't recommend it ever, and here's the why. And it's unfortunate because there's some good transporters out there, but here's the why. I've had terrible luck with transporters in the last litter that I had. One of the puppies that we sent down near the border with Mexico, I don't remember if it was Eagle Pass. It was one of them cities right down there by the border. Puppy died within 10 days because of parvo. Now, I don't have any dogs here with parvo, nor have I ever had a puppy here die because of parvo. Now, it could be that in that area, parvo is persistent. It could also be that in the same crate that puppy was being transported, there could have been a dog with parvo.
Yep.
It's just, it is what it is. And the dude might have cleaned it and everything as best as he could, but a virus, guys, a virus is something you just don't get rid of easily.
That shit is airborne too, man. I mean, you can. Yeah, man. That and once the dog get parvo, he is never going to be the same.
No. Parvo is completely airborne. In fact, all a puppy has to do, or a dog that has a compromised immune system, is simply sniff the poop of a dog that's got parvo. And guess what? Your dog's got parvo. This is why they always tell you don't take puppies to dog parks or anything like that, because that's what they're going to be sniffing on. Let's see if they have anything else on here. They don't follow up with you after the sale. This is true. I can tell you one of the things, and again, I use everything, as a follow-up. In other words, when somebody buys from me, you guys know I'll charge for a consult for somebody I don't know. But if you bought from me, man, you could text me at 1 o'clock at night. She's giving birth. I'm gonna talk you through it. It's just the way I'm gonna roll with it, right? You become family once you buy from me. That's the way I deal with it. But having a relationship with those people that buy from you is very important, because those puppies that we're producing, and I say we because I include my wife and my daughter in this whole thing, they're an extension of our family. Our dogs are our family. So look, my girl, Sunshine, Ali, Congo, Aruba. By the way, Aruba I just had to take her this past week to get one of her digits removed. Unfortunately, she got bit by a snake. We caught it in time, but the venom just destroyed it. But anyways, my whole point is these dogs are an extension of our family. And those puppies, we feel responsible for them regardless, even when they leave our yard. So, Gerald, I want to know how you keep track of your puppies when they leave your yard. How do you deal with the customers? What type of relationship do you have with them?
That's very interesting because, they communicate with you really good before they buy the puppy.
Yes.
They are on your ass. They asking questions. And when the puppy start developing, when they pick the puppy up, they're good to go. And then after 7, 8, 9, 10 months, they fall off. And all you're asking for is photos.
Yeah.
And I generally want photos of the dogs because I want people to see what I'm producing, how they develop, and it's also marketing. So, because when somebody sees that Dobie or a bloodline of mine, You better believe they said, where you get that dog from?
Exactly.
Oh, you got it from European Doberman stud. Check them out. Same concept. That thing that happened with a friend of mine who bought a dog, or she's a family friend now. She bought a dog from it. She works at a pet store. Guess who was in that pet store when she had her dog with her?
Wait, stop.
Oh, here we go.
Who was there?
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, wow. All
Scottie
right.
Pippen.
Scottie Pippen, bro. That makes a world of difference, man. Hey, just real quick, and I'm just jumping off topic. I always thought when they were playing together that they were the best of friends, him and Michael Jordan.
Oh, you saw that interview too?
I got the old I zigged when I should have zagged, bro. I read it completely wrong based on what Scotty says, but go ahead and continue, man. Didn't mean to take you completely off.
No. It's it's interesting because your contract has to be really, really tight. And one of the things that's in our contract that says you must take this pup to a vet to get checked out again within the first 24 to 48 hours.
Yes.
A lot of them don't do it. And then all these other issues start coming up. Coccidia, Giardia. I'm like, well, the dog steps in their own poop and then they step in their dish of food. It's
water,
very possible. You know, so yeah, it's breeding is for those who are willing to take L's as well and learn from those. If you come in this game and you haven't taken an L, or you're not recovered from the L, or you don't think you're going to take L's, you better start selling cars because it ain't going to work here.
Facts right there. He just dropped them on you.
Boom.
Real quick, let me shout out my dude, Michael Higginson, my co-host with the most on Mondays.
Boom!
Gunshot for you, bro. Number love, man. Number love. We on fire over here. NWA says no chips out with Pip. He's cracking up. All right, man. Let's see what else they got on this list. I thought we was done. Okay, yeah, we are done.
We ain't done yet.
The list is done. The list is done. But yeah, no, definitely, man. It's been a good. I ain't gonna keep nobody long. It's been a good podcast today. Listen, Gerald, man. I usually do Fridays on my own. I would love nothing more than for you to come on and for us to have either a segment with you or something every Friday, man. Something controversial, something we can go back and forth on, man. Because I can tell people like the juicy conversations over here.
Nightcap, baby. This is dog talk after dark, baby.
Hey, they call those dog unks, right? Like what is it? Sterling Sharp, Uncle whatever, man.
Yeah.
Verda Bully says, off topic, first 48 hours of birth, quick, don't do and to do. First 48 hours, listen, you need to make sure that the puppies are getting on mom's teats. I know you think that what's coming out is milk, but it's really not milk. And it's actually colostrum. So puppies are born with an immature immune system. They need to get that in for the first 28 days. Otherwise, they're going to be dying on you because they can't fight anything off. Okay, really, really important. Also, if you have a female that's about to give birth and you're noticing she only has 4 tits in the back that are full of milk and nothing in the front, buy yourself some colostrum. Have it. Throw it in the freezer if you got to. Or they even come in powder form now. And then make sure you give it to the puppies. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to fight anything off. Anything you want to add to that, man?
You know what? Don't sleep. Get somebody to rotate with you because that first 40 hours.
True. Very true.
I don't know about the bully world, but Dobermans, they're not Malinois or Shepherds. The first 2-3 weeks is critical. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
sleep. Don't leave.
Yes. A lot of things can happen. I will also say the first 48 hours, especially if your female came from a C-section, you need to be on top of it. You got to realize that when a bitch goes through a C-section, she doesn't have the same amount of oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, right? That a bitch that naturally gave birth was able to, be able to throw out there. So she's kind of groggy. She doesn't have the bonding hormone, as prominent as the other one does. and all of a sudden you're putting puppies on her teats and she's in pain, she might end up biting a puppy. So that's another thing you definitely need to be looking out for. I'm taking questions here. We got 2 minutes. And wait a minute, I gotta spin the wheel. Nadies, this one's for you. Real quick. I did say I was gonna spin the wheel, so let me bring that up here real quick before we forget. I don't want to jump off here without doing it, Nadies. And Nadies, I kind of changed the prices on there. I even threw $100 in there. All right. So we got Nuvet, we got $100. We got a spin again. And man, that's all we got a beanie. We also got a beanie. So here we go, Nadies. This is for you right there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, there it is. Nadies. That was close. That was close. I actually wanted you to win it because I already know had you won it, you would have gifted 20 more memberships. But nonetheless, I appreciate you. Let's see if we got any last second questions we could jump on here. Shaytree says, got to spin the wheel. We just did it. Nadie says, everything that humans do, we have to do it for our pups. I couldn't agree with you more. Sulema Santiago, I have some shifts available. Who says me? She's talking about her pregnant female. Shaytree says, Raul, you're the man. No, Shaytree, you are the woman. Nothing but love for you and your family. Love the guys. We got to congratulate Shaytree. Her daughter just got married here recently. I saw everything on Facebook. Couldn't be happier for you and your husband. So, hey, number love. Number love. Number love. Listen, guys, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. Gerald, number love for you, man. Appreciate you for coming on. And we do something here. Every time we're about to log off, I'm going to put you full screen, and you got whatever message you want to throw out there to the universe. It's all you, bro. Make it happen. Go ahead, Gerald. You're on. No.
Hey, I want to say, listen, people, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me as a guest, Raul. And I always say this all the time. Be resilient, but be responsible. Until next time.
Whoa, I love that, man. Dude's got some serious energy. Hey, listen, you know we do this every Monday, every Friday, 8 p.CST. Hey, we got 2 unks making it happen tonight. Let me know what you want for Mondays. Been Raul from the Q, and I'll be catching you on the next one.
We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate.